What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to All In with Ashmeet. This is going to be a show or a podcast where I talk about changes, I talk about things that matter to me, and hopefully things that should matter to you, right? The whole point of this podcast or this show is to create discussion, is so that we start talking about things, is so that we start having conversations, because I believe what's हमने बातें करनी बंद कर दी हैं एक दूसरे से, और जब तक हम एक दूसरे से बातें नहीं करेंगे ना, आई डोंट थिंक वी आर गेटिंग एनीवेयर, right? So coming to today's topic is, so a lot has happened over the last few days. Let's unpack it one by one, right? So the last few days, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, right, happens to get arrested in Delhi. The Delhi chief minister happens to get arrested from being a part of the liquor scam or whatever it is. Now, is this I'm not sure if it's actually a great look for democracy that your chief minister is getting arrested a month before the elections. Is it a coincidence? I'm not sure. But chalo, on the other side, maybe you say कि ठीक है, your country's, you're the the country's law is so strong that you can actually arrest a chief minister. So maybe there's that side to it. ठीक है, great. But we are divided as a country. I don't think we've ever been this divided. Like, coming into these general elections 2024, left versus right, Hindu versus Muslim. I mean, I don't even know what all labels we want to put on each other, right? We have created hatred. We have created massive amounts of hatred. And this rhetoric of hatred, I'm telling you, it does not, if you think it's we're not going to have to pay a price for this, trust me, we will. Trust me, we will. And this rhetoric of hatred is being created by people who are, a lot of these politicians, if you don't see, are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? They are not even going to be alive to, I mean, see the changes they are proclaiming to, you know, get in. It's my generation, it's our generation, it's our kids who are going to have to deal with this, right? Now, since 2014, let's go back 10 years. Like, the church, religion and politics, when the church and the state, as they say, it's never been a good match. It's never been, politics when played on religion does not end well, right? I haven't seen it ending well anywhere. Okay, one party should be assigned with this religion and that religion. I think we should look at their manifestos, look at the change they're promising, look at their plus points, look at, and are they fulfilling their promises? Are those promises being fulfilled? Are we checking them on this? Like, I remember 2014 elections with a lot of these major issues, were price of petrol and the price of the dollar and the rupee, and how the rupee is faring against the dollar. All these were important metrics, and these were raised by the opposition, by the way. ठीक है, in 2013, these were the important factors raised by BJP as why how Congress is failing and whatever. And ठीक है, next year we got ourselves a new government, and what happens, right? Coming to now, 2016, we go through demonetization, which I still to this date मेरे को नहीं समझ आया कि what was the point of that. Like, did it get us somewhere? Did it did it mm, get any change? I mean, I to think the whole ploy was getting the black money back, right? एंड कि ठीक है हम दूसरे लोगों का ब्लैक मनी वापस ले आएंगे, हम इसे टेररिज्म रोक देंगे, एंड लॉट ऑफ ludicrous स्टेटमेंट्स वर मेड, right? I mean, people, I remember even when the new notes came out, like you had anchors saying कि 2000 के नोट पे चिप लगा है और ये ट्रेस हो सकता है और कि उससे वो रुकेगी, where it makes no sense, right? 2000 के नोट अगर आपके पास हैं, 2000 के नोट, आई मीन इफ यू, अगर मेरे को 50 लाख छुपानी है 2000 के नोट के साथ, मैं ज़्यादा आसानी से छुपा सकता हूँ कंपेयर टू 1000 के नोट. आई मीन इट टेक्स हाफ द नोट्स, राइट? सो टेल मी हाउ डज दिस मेकिंग पैसे छुपाने से मुश्किल हो जाएंगे और वट एवर दैट वाज, वट एवर, राइट? मेक्स नो सेंस, बट ठीक है, वी एट इट अप. One good thing which came out of this, ठीक है, forced whatever, is the UPI revolution, you can say. Now, is the UPI revolution, was this a fair price to pay for it? Was demonetization, did we have to pay this price for it? Was this the only way we were going to go digital, by being, it forced down our throats? Were we ready as a country to go digital? No, of course not, right? And 2016 comes the geo revolution, which was very, I mean, it's insane. Like, I've never seen a prime minister do ads for, uh, like, private firms before this. But I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is the new thing, right? Maybe BSNL के लिए ads करना छोड़ो, Jio के लिए ही ad कर लेंगे, right? A lot of these, I mean, since 2016, we have come up with, I mean, all these policies which have, ठीक है, मे बी वी हैव अपने दूसरे देशों में जाके दोस्ती कर ली, अपने फॉरेन कंट्रीज में जाके, मे बी यू कैन, वन साइड कैन से दैट, राइट, कि मोदी जी has done well on that, but then again we've lost our regional allies. We're not on good terms with Nepal. We've lost Bhutan and all are neutral. We've lost, the Maldives issue is there. We've lost, Bangladesh does not really care about us. Like, we've lost our regional allies. Pakistan, chalo, bhul jao. What is happening with that? We don't seem to care. Even though I believe still trading with Pakistan, I, I think if we can sort out a trade deal with them, it is beneficial to both parties. Go ahead with that, right? But chalo, you suggest that you're anti-national these days, so maybe not. But coming back to Mr. Kejriwal getting arrested last week, I don't think this is a good look for us. It's a good look for a democratic state, right? Where your chief minister, which happens to be of a party which is not in the ruling party, of course, manages to get arrested 1 month before the general elections. Is it a coincidence? Is it not? Hey, but the timing's pretty great, right? मतलब 2024 में, I mean, the timing of a lot of things are pretty, coincidental. Like, is this the change we wanted? Like, I remember when we wanted, like, we voted for change, right? We voted for change. What have we gotten? We've gotten a statue, right? We've gotten a 3200 crore statue, which is, I'm sure statues are important. We've gotten a, ठीक है, we've gotten the Ram Mandir. I'm sure the Ram Mandir is important for a lot of Hindus. I'm sure it is, right? Don't get me wrong. And that's all well and good. But why is religion being mixed with state achievements? Like, religious achievements, religion and state should stay away from each other. Religion is good, it should be aapke ghar tak. The beauty of India is being secular, right? I remember studying outside as an Indian, and the one thing I was proud of was being an Indian and having, कि I can go out and say कि हमारे देश में there is a Hindu and a Muslim and a Sikh and a Isai and a Jew, and we can all be friends and we can all trade. I think that was the beauty of India, and I think we are losing that over the past few years. We've become so divisive. We've put labels on each other. This politics of extreme hatred, of maligning each other, you know. we're going to pay for this, right? It's our generation which has have to live through this, right? This is not a simple left versus right battle anymore. You're at least in a left versus right battle. Like if you look at America, at least there, a strong opposition is always required to hold a country's democracy, right? Only with a strong opposition can you have a fair democracy. Otherwise, you're heading into a one party system, right? Otherwise, we're heading into what's happening in China. Let's just stop voting. 2029 में इलेक्शन ही नहीं करवाते, ठीक है, सबको पता है आना किसने है, इलेक्शन ही करवाना बंद कर देते हैं. So I think the Indian media has not helped, right? I remember 2014 में पहले we actually had, I remember our parents used to tell us कि भाई न्यूज़ देखा करो, न्यूज़ देखो. I don't see anyone in this generation saying कि आप न्यूज़ देखो. And I think this media has failed this generation. The fact कि आपको YouTube पे आना पड़ता है, you have to watch people like the Deshbhakt, you have to watch people like Dhruv Rathi, you have to watch people. I'm sure on the other side there are a lot of people as well you have to watch to get your news from. That's insane, right? There are a lot of YouTubers or independent media is doing it better than this media was backed by thousands of crores of marketing and advertising and everything. But hell, these people don't seem to care, right? You have to remember most of these people in power are v- in it for themselves. They're in their 50s, 60s, 70s. They're not even going to be alive to see these changes. We are going to live with this. All this hatred we have created, our children, mm, मेरा और आपके बच्चों को इसके थ्रू जाना पड़ेगा, इसके थ्रू बड़ा होना पड़ेगा. Is this an environment where I want to raise children in? Is this an environment where I want to have kids in? Is this an environment where I feel safe and I can say कि my, I can have daughters and sons and I feel that this is a good environment for them to grow up in? This environment of hating each other, like why are we putting labels, right? Before we are Hindu, before we are Muslim or Sikh or whatever, we're Indian. Before we're Bihari or Punjabi or Bengali or Gujarati, we're Indian. Let's not forget that, right? That's the beauty of India. The beauty of India is that we can rise above all these labels put towards us and we can vote together for change. Right. So youth voters, I cannot emphasize how important it is this year, for youth voters to come up. People who've just turned 18, people who are young adults, right? Like you guys need to vote in these elections. You guys need to make your voices heard. I'm telling you, it's going to be too late eventually. If you don't wake up now, 2029, I'm not even sure what happens, right? Like, I'm not saying vote for this party, that party. That's for you to decide. But at least सोचो यार, सोचो कि कौन सा पार्टी आपको क्या दे रहा है. सोचो आपको कि आपको इस पार्टी से ये मिल रहा है कि उस पार्टी से वो मिल रहा है. Are they delivering on their promises? And if they're not delivering on their promises, why aren't we calling them out? Why do we keep re-electing them? Right? The prices of petrol have gone high. The prices of all your daily necessities are going high. The prices of the dollar to the rupee ratio is insane. No one seems to care. It's like, ठीक है, राम मंदिर बन गया, statue बन गया, we're all happy. The Ram Mandir is not going to feed your kids. I'm sorry. However important it may be, it's not going to feed your children. It's not going to give us jobs. Right? What happened to asking for jobs? What happened to asking for, like, I go back whenever I see this happening, na, like, I go back to what Nero said, which was Nero basically was an emperor of the Roman Empire, right? And during his time, there was a lot of division. There was a lot of problems, bread ki prices, ye wo, and he was a big believer in कि नहीं ठीक है, we have the Colosseum, we'll have these games, and hey, let's just keep the local populace busy in that, who's killing each other, आप उसमें busy हो, you don't care कि price, bread का price क्या है, उसका price क्या है ना, you're watching, आपके सामने लोग murder हो रहे हैं, you're watching entertainment, you're watching, ठीक है, and if that's keeping you busy, I think that's what's happening today. You have modern forms. We've got the IPL. We've got this dance show, that dance show, this show, what show, right? This is all just so me and you don't care about what's the price of oil or what's the price of petrol or how these normal necessities, why are they getting expensive? Like, screw it, man. मतलब जाके IPL देखो, लोगों की है ना, मतलब भूल जाओ. This is propaganda at its finest, yeah, you know. And the level of crony capitalism, I mean, the rich have just gotten richer, the poor are getting poorer, the income inequality gap is the biggest it's been in India. ठीक है, गरीब और गरीब हो गए हैं, अमीर और अमीर हो गए हैं. The 1% is now controlling over 40-50% of the wealth in India, which is insane. Everything seems to be privatized. Remember, when everything is privatized, like the state has incentive to keep things cheap for people. When things are privatized, it's all about profit. It's all about, it's it does not care for the poor or whatever, right? It cares about profit. If it's not profitable, sorry, too bad. Like, I think we are a country, we need education, we need the state to help us, we need people to just start having discussions, start having conversations, talk about taboo topics, right? What is keeping you away from all this? Matlab, the Britishers did this to us, the divide and rule thing. They left 70, 80 years ago, but did they really leave? We are dividing and ruling each other now. I don't think we've ever been this divided. And why? मतलब इंडिया आपका है, मेरा है, सबका है यार. हम सब चाहते हैं ये देश बेटर करे. So youth voters, people who are 18 and onwards, like, go out and vote. It is our generation who's going to have to live through this. It is our generation who is going to be responsible. We are going to have to pick up the slack. We are going to have to. You cannot keep shirking the responsibility to other generations. They have done their job. It's our time now. It's our time to get up and vote. While we have free and fair elections, let's use them. You don't know agle time will you even have them. This is a sorry thing to say, but I don't even know. Are we turning into a one party state? 2029, do we even have an, like, I see people saying election करवाने का फायदा ही क्या है, पता ही कौन जीतेगा, मतलब that is not a good thing. A strong opposition is important. Without a strong opposition, there cannot be a good democracy, right? The democracy is only as good as your opposition is, right? So now, what does this mean for Mr. Kejriwal? Like, for him, I think he's been an astute politician coming back from 2011 with the Anna Hazare stuff, and then 2013 getting into politics, somehow winning, not majority. Then he, gives up his mandate, comes back, gets re-elected with majority, takes over, comes in Delhi. And I've heard Delhi voters say that Delhi voters are happy with Kejriwal. They'll say कि ठीक है, हम नेशनल में मोदी को वोट दे देंगे, मगर यहाँ पे हम केजरीवाल से खुश हैं. And even in Punjab, like, I think we've given enough time to the Congress and the Akali, and I think that's why we've given the AAP a chance. It's because we've seen not much happened with Congress and Akali. Punjab has gone from first number one state in GDP metrics from 2000 to number 16, 17, 18. I don't even know. We've been left behind, right? Is it our fault as Punjabis? Like, of course, maybe we are, Canada jana is too important to us, but we need to get our priorities right. Our youth needs to get our priorities straight, right? This is not just for Punjabi, this is for all of India. Like, let's wake up, let's vote together. This time is, people will judge us in the future for what happened in these elections. A lot is riding. Okay, so my hope with this is just so we can engage and start having conversations. I'm not saying take sides, I'm saying just बात करना शुरू करो और देखो आपको कहाँ सही बात लगती है, और आपको अगर बात सही लगती है तो ठीक है, जाके उस पार्टी के लिए वोट करो, और just hold people accountable यार, that's all. ठीक है, हम चाहते हैं, we want change. I think the BJP and Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah have two great politicians and statesmen, right? They know how to play the game so well there that, you know, like we feel that there's no one else in the opposition. But remember, we cannot go by this, right? You cannot vote for one party just because you feel कि और कोई नहीं है तो मैं इसको दे दूंगा. You have to vote for them by the jobs they are doing, by the stuff, the changes they are saying they will make. And let's hold them accountable. Let's hope for a better India. Tomorrow, you and me, this is for all of us. So, with that, I'd like to say thank you for watching this video. Okay? Comment, share, subscribe, like this video. And next time, let's come up with another topic which interests us, right? If it's taboo, if it's hard to talk about, even better. I think we need to start having conversations. And if I can get even a few people to start talking and using their minds, I'll be happy. I think my work will be done, right? So, with that, thank you for watching. My name is Ashmeet, and this is All In by Ashmeet. Thank you. See you next time.